thanks for coming. Today, we've got some really cool special guests, and I'm excited to welcome them to the stage in just a moment. Before we do that, a couple of things. I always forget to do this because I struggle doing social media. It's not my thing. I don't spend time on it, but my team has told me we need to make sure that we do this. So if you're tweeting, if you're posting, will you please use the hashtag RevU. It's right up here in the lower left. And you can use at RevRoadUtah. Okay. So hashtag RevU at RevRoadUtah. Thanks for doing that. This one's super important. Restrooms are out these doors and take a right. Also, if you're going to ask a question at any point during the live video podcast, during the interviews or anything else, will you please wait for the mic? We have a whole bunch of people who tune in from around the country for this, and they can't hear a word you're saying if you don't have the mic up to your mouth. So go ahead and just wait for the mic. We'll have people on either side that will be looking for your hand, and when they see it, they'll make sure you get that mic and so that you can be heard. All right, awesome. Our next item is, hang on just a sec. Our next item is we want to welcome some great entrepreneurs to the stage. If you are familiar with the Lean Canvas process, you'll remember that the number one thing you do is you look for a problem. And these young men have found a problem that people are willing to pay to solve. And so, if you will you please welcome to the stage the Poop Brothers.
Okay, hi, I'm Jacob, and I am half of the Poop Brothers, and I am 12 years old. Please remember that I'm only 12 and not 15.
I'm Ethan, I'm 9 years old, and I am the other half of the Poop Brothers.
So, a little bit about us and our business. Well, our business later. So, a little bit about us. I really love tackle football. I love it in the video game form and in the physical form. Also, I really love Lake Powell. Lake Powell is a really fun place to go to, and my favorite canyon there is the Labyrinth. It was a very beautiful canyon.
Some of the things I like to do is play kickball, flag football. I also like dogs better than girls.
Yep. Okay, so one day, my brother said, Jacob, we need more money. And we had tried, selling lemonade to people and, just sitting out in our corner for 6 hours. And we made maybe $12. Not worth it, guys. It was really hot. No. And some other thing that we tried was
chores around the house. We kind of liked it, the inside part, but outside, we hated weeding. It was hot, and we didn't get paid that much.
Yeah, our mom and dad were paying us. It's not that great. So then we tried a garage sale, and the garage sale worked out pretty well at first. We got $250 for our garage sale, and then we realized, wait, we're gonna run out of our parents' stuff to sell. So we ran out of that, and that didn't work. This was not going well so far with us trying to make money. It's not clicking. What do I do?
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Brainstorming new ideas. So after that, we were brainstorming things that, business ideas that we could do. Like a pain that nobody wanted to do and would pay a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old to come over and help them with something. And then we came up with the idea of
the
Poop
Poop
Brothers.
We figured out that poop makes money. We go pick it up, the clients pay us, they get a clean backyard, and we get money.
So, yeah, and our goal with this money was to get dirt bikes. But how do we get dirt bikes when we just came up with the business idea? So we had to start growing our business. So we also had to come up with ideas of how to grow our business. So what next? After we've got all this, we know that we want to try the Poop Brothers. So what do?
So my mom's a graphic designer, and she made flyers for us to go pass out. And we went out around our neighborhood for like every day a week for 3 hours, and I think we got like one client, and her name was
Journey Lass. But we got responses like, "No, we don't have any money. Yeah, don't come back." And then one person said, "Oh yeah, maybe like we're gonna get a puppy next week or something. Like maybe you could come by and pick it up." And then they just shut the door. And we're like, "Ethan, this isn't worth it." We're like, "What can we do to keep working?" And then we found Journey Lass, and she was that little spark of hope in all the darkness. So she helped us with this.
So what next? We had to get more money to get a dirt bike. So, and Journey wasn't enough, so we had to find a way to get more money.
Journey Lass, how she helped us, she had us come over every week for just like 30 minutes of just cleaning up all the poop in her backyard. And we found out the best strategy: walking up and down in rows, up and down forever, felt like. And we just pick up like 2 bags worth of poop. And we made a good amount of money off of that, but it was not enough to continue expanding our business. And me and my brother did not have enough money to buy dirt bikes. It would take us a long time.
We also used our hands to pick up the crap.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. We use our hands, along with gloves. So don't worry.
So we weren't getting enough money, and we put pictures of dirt bikes on a paper with boxes, and every box we filled out was $10. And once we filled out all the boxes, we had our dirt bikes.
So my goal for my boxes was $450, and me and my brother put posters up on the walls, and then we went and checked out a box, and I reached my goal plus like $50 more, and my brother's goal was like
$350.
yeah. So yeah, it was really fun to go around with my dad at 8 in the morning every day and pick up this cold poop. And then every once in a while, he'd be like, Ethan would yell it from across the yard, "This one's fresh. It's warm." And it'd warm up his hands.
Yeah.
So he was grateful for that. I was like, "Ethan, you're gross." How we expanded our business after that was we decided, what if we could use Facebook to our advantage? But one of the rules on the Spanish Fork Facebook group is that you cannot post your businesses on there. But we know the administrator of the Spanish Fork Facebook group, and we thought, you know what, she'll forgive us. We'll just make a ton of money off of this, hopefully. And then, funny thing is, she was actually one of our clients. So, yeah, it worked out well.
How our business went after that, we got over 30 clients, made at least $1,200, and we got our dirt bikes.
Riding the dirt bikes were really fun too, by the way. We rode them up and down our street a couple hundred times, probably. I'm sure our neighbors are probably like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that they don't do that much anymore." So, yeah. What we learned and how we changed after that.
After one season, we learned that different clients pay better for different jobs. For example, some clients pay like $10 for a super hard job, and some other clients pay like $60 for not so hard jobs. So we fired the clients that didn't pay us that much.
We were like, yeah, we're not coming over here again. It was like 3 hours of work for like, what, $20? Not worth it. So one way that the Poop Brothers has helped me in my life is I went to this 5th grade camp called Shadow Mountain, and we had to clean the cabins. And someone had to clean the bathroom, and I was like, I'll do it if no one else does it, and no one else did it. Glorious. So I had to go clean the bathroom, and there was 5th grade pee and poop all over the floor. Can you imagine this? It's terrible, disgusting. But because of the Poop Brothers, I knew how to do this dirty work, and I went and cleaned up those bathrooms perfectly, if I do say so myself. And then the camp counselors saw how well I was doing, and they were like, holy crap, this kid's awesome. And I was being really good camper, and they gave me a pancake that was this big. Wow, I was like surprised, and only one person got it. My friends were just staring at me in disbelief. This kid, Tegan, he's like, holy crap, Jacob, why didn't I get that? And he loves pancakes. So, yeah, we ate maybe a fourth of it along with my friends. It also made me and my brother realize, what the Poop Brothers did, that if you can solve people's problems, they're willing to pay for it. In man cakes is what they called it, this big, or in money and dirt bikes.
We also figured out that doing it in the spring is better because it's not too hot. There's a ton of poop. It's slimy, squishy. No one wants to pick it up.
So me and Ethan are the ones who do that picking up job. It's not fun, but trust me, it is worth it in the end. Thank you for letting us come today and giving us some of your time. And one more thing that I would like to ask you guys is, at my school, I am having an assembly for entrepreneurs, and I would like to have a couple entrepreneurs come over and talk about what being an entrepreneur is like, because in 6th grade, no one gets to have a chance to learn about that. All we learn about is like, hey, listen, there's a plumber. Why is plumber first thing in my mind? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, and yeah, me and my dad are going to be here afterwards for a little bit, and you can come talk to us if you would like to come do that. It'll be fun, and my dad's also going to be presenting a little bit of there. So come talk to us afterwards, especially if you're a female successful entrepreneur. My dad said you better say that, because he was like, because females are like really awesome if they do that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. My brother doesn't agree with me. He said in the beginning he likes dogs more than girls, so
Yeah.
we'll see how this goes. Well, do you guys have any questions for us? If you do, then just ask us. If not, then we're awesome.
All right.
Thanks.
Hang on. Let me take that. Thanks. Well done. Good idea. Isn't that great? Some awesome life lessons there. I know lots of entrepreneurs who could apply those same lessons to setting a goal, having a target, tracking towards it, finding a market, pivoting, right? Achieving your goal, firing customers. Those are all great. In addition to volunteering at the school, if you happen to have some of that material in your backyard and you need someone to come take care of it, check out the Poop Brothers on Facebook.
Thanks.
We would like to help you with your goal. What goal did you set after you got your dirt bikes?
After we got our dirt bikes, or like before?
No, after.
After
You've already got that. Do you have a new goal?
Just growing our business a little bit more, and keeping it going, and seeing how many people we can get to like expand with us and stuff. I don't know.
That's great. Hiring might be hard, but I think that you can do it.
Okay.
Well, we're super grateful to both of you, and we wanted to add to your fund. So we have a crisp 100 for each one of you. So you can go mark some boxes off on your next goal.
Thank you so much.
Let's give them a hand. Good job, you guys.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome, buddy. Okay, I'll take that. Thanks, Mark. I just love the Poop Brothers. They're amazing. So for our next segment, we're going to hear from Dave Myers. We're really excited for that. Before we do, I know many of you, probably more than half of you, are new to Rev Road. I just want to give you a quick introduction. Rev Road is a venture services firm. It's pretty much unlike anything that you've seen before. It's very simple, though. We help entrepreneurs and their businesses grow, and we help them keep control of their business. And we do that by providing 12 different services: coding, video production, physical product prototyping, sales, marketing of all kinds, raising capital, all kinds of things. And we exchange those services for 2 years in exchange for a minority stake of equity. So our incentives are perfectly aligned with yours to help you grow and succeed. So if you're interested in more about that, just check it out at revroad.com and or contact any of the folks here who are with RevRoad afterwards. All right. It's my pleasure to introduce Dave Myers. At this point, we always do a little workshop, and the workshop is very much focused on a particular aspect that, or a particular principle of business that can be helpful for you. In this case, we're going to be focusing in on the effect of mentoring, how to find great mentors, and how to make sure your mentoring experience is productive for both parties. And I've had the privilege of working with Dave Myers for many years. We've worked together in 3 different companies now, and Dave heads up our mentoring here at RevRoad. We're really thrilled to have him here, and he's going to share some things. As you think about this, you'll see his great background come through. He's one of the greatest sales leaders. He's been highly successful in each of the businesses he's been in, and he's also an entrepreneur. So with that, let's welcome Dave Myers to the stage.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, hello everybody. First, I think we need to give another shout out to the Poop Brothers. Let's show them a little bit of love. I thought I had my act together in 6th grade, and then I saw the Poop Brothers, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I had no idea what I was doing when I was in the 6th grade. So great job, you guys. Very inspiring story. Super excited to be doing the workshop this month for RevRoad University. We are going to be talking about mentors today. And yes, I'm going to shamelessly reward audience participation, and that is what this is for. So if you participate and I like your answer, I will be chucking something at you that you probably shouldn't put into your body, but we all know you will. Today, we're going to talk about mentors. We're going to talk about there's a time in an entrepreneur's life during the building of his or her company that they feel inadequate, or they feel like they could really benefit from somebody who's been there, done that before. We're going to talk about that moment in time for an entrepreneur, when to decide you need a mentor, and how to find a mentor, and how to work with a mentor. Another thing we want to talk about today is some of you in this audience, some of you that frequent and are part of the RevRoad community, have kind of been there, done that, been very successful. You've had a lot of experience in your career, and you've reached a stage where you'd like to give back. You'd like to help others. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit today as well. How do you make sure that you're ready to be a mentor? And then if you get a chance to mentor somebody, how do you make sure that you make it a positive experience? So we're going to talk about those 2 things today. All right? All right. To get things started, I need some audience participation. I need somebody to share with all of us maybe just a general definition of a mentor. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. What is a mentor? Can somebody kind of give us a general definition? Raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone to you. Right there.
Someone who's been there, done that, somebody who's experienced, and they'll come at either a rate or for free, be able to coach you through the path that they've taken.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you very much. Hope you like M&Ms. Coming at you. Oh, a little short. Good catch. Raise your hand. How many of you have had the privilege of working with before in your life or your career with a mentor? Okay, awesome. Good. So we kind of have a lot of you have a sense of what that is like. Very good. Would anybody be willing to share your mentor experience? Who was your mentor? You don't have to give names, but who was your mentor, and was it a worthwhile experience having a mentor? Would anybody be willing to share? Raise your hand if you would. And if you don't, that's okay. We'll move on. Yes, right there. I knew somebody wanted a Kit Kat.
I want the Kit Kat. No, I had a mentor. He was a neighbor of mine growing up, but he owned several local businesses. And my first experience with him was he actually helped me kind of partner in making my own business, which I had no capital or anything. And so he actually fronted all the money. He let me actually keep all the money we made. It was really just a really kind gesture that showed me that being a mentor is a lot more than just having been there, done that. It's really guiding somebody through it. It's kind of giving back a little bit, which kind of showed me a greater side of what I wanted to be when I grew up. But
Awesome.
they really just take your hand, guide you through it, and help you get where you're going.
So you had a really positive experience. Great. Thank you very much. I am going to highlight a couple of times today, if you don't want to give it to somebody else. You do need to be careful. If you want to mentor, you need to be careful that you pick one that is compatible with you and that you can work well with. I have sprinkled in my presentation today a few cartoons to illustrate that you have to be careful who you decide to work with. I went the wrong way. Would somebody be willing to read this slide? And if you read it, I'm going to reward you. Raise your hand if you're going to read it, because you need a microphone. Nicole, will you wait for a microphone and then read that slide for us?
It says, I'd like to mentor you. We can start by you getting me some coffee or hot chocolate.
Okay. How's this mentor-mentee relationship going? We off to a good start? Might be a rocky start there. Yeah, that's not exactly what you're aiming for when you want a mentor. Okay. A lot of times when we think of a mentor, we think of finding somebody to help us with our career goals, with our business building goals, like that. But can you also have mentors in your personal life? Would somebody be willing to read this slide? Raise your hand so we can get your microphone. Anyone? Yeah, right there.
Are you too old to remember all the advice you tried to give me when I was too young to care?
I liked this one. This one kind of reminds me, in my personal life, I had a really important mentor growing up. Sorry, I didn't reward you. Sorry. How dare me? Thanks. Oh, sorry. When I was 8 years old, I had a mom and a dad that were awesome. They really loved me. They let me know that they loved me. I was a lucky kid. They didn't love each other, so they got divorced. And I grew up with my mom. And my grandfather stepped up. This comic strip reminds me of my grandfather. He stepped up and was a really good mentor to me. He had a lifetime of experience and wisdom he shared with me. He helped me grow up. He was a cheerleader as I fell and along the way made mistakes and got back up and dusted my pants off and kept going. A good role model for me. Ideally, when you're looking for a mentor, they're hard to find. You can find a great mentor for your career goals. You can find sometimes a great mentor in your personal life. If you can find one that helps you in both areas, that's a really good mentor. Can anybody relate to my story about my grandfather? Are there friends or family in your life that were good mentors to you? Raise your hand if you can say yes. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, let's say that you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know what, I don't have a mentor, and boy, I really could benefit from somebody helping me out. We're going to talk a little bit about how to find a mentor. First, I forgot this slide. When I think of a mentor, in addition to the great definition that we heard about a mentor is also a coach and can also be a role model. So kind of keep that in mind as you're thinking about whether or not you want a mentor and where to go look for one, or go whether you want to look for one. If you do choose to have a mentor, you won't be alone. There are lots of people, as we saw in our audience, that have had mentors. Lots of famous people also. Here's an example of a few people that speak very highly of people in their lives that mentor them and help them in their lives and in their career. So again, I think the message here is if you choose to seek a mentor, you're not alone. Also, I wanted to share this proverb with everybody as well. Most of you have probably seen it before, but just as a reminder, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We all know that if we surround ourselves with good people that are happy, successful, productive people, that can help lift us up and can help us also be that kind of a person. A mentor could be one of those people that you surround yourself with. So as you ponder whether or not you should seek out a mentor, think about that as well. Okay, let's say you want to find a mentor, or let's say you want a mentor. Where do you find a mentor? Where do they hide? Do they hide under a rock? Do they put their name on a billboard? Well, if you are lucky enough to be a portfolio company at Rev Road, we have a mentor program. It's one of the 12 services that we provide. And we have a lot of people in our community that have raised their hand and said, we would like to give back. We would like to be a mentor. And we vet these people. We put them through an application process, and we present them to members in our portfolio, founders in our portfolio that choose to work with a mentor. So Rev Road is one place where you can find a mentor. Where else do mentors hide, or where else are they? If you are not a portfolio company at Rev Road and you want to work with a mentor, where can you find a mentor? Raise your hand, and remember, you need a microphone before you answer. Is anybody smart enough to answer that question? Yes, right over here.
Two of the places that I have found mentors were first at university. Some of the professors there have great experience and or connections to get you really good mentors. And then the second was at a larger corporation. If you're working there, there are some really successful people that have done what you've done before. You have to proactively seek them out, but they're usually willing to help if you're working for the same company.
Yeah, fantastic answer. Really two answers in one. Thank you. Okay, any others? So at work, at university, any others? Yes.
There are a couple of other places. For instance, your personal network, even your aunts, your uncles, they may know people. So they may not be your first level of communication or relationship, but an ancillary relationship from there.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. You guys are so good. I wrote down 4, and you guys already have all 4 answers. So alumni associations or university, work, friends, and family. Very good. So if you want a mentor, these are some great places to go find one. Okay. Now, I continue to try to warn you, make sure you pick a mentor that you can work well with. How do you do that? If let's say you find a place where mentors gather and you have your pick of the lot, how do you choose a good mentor? At Rev Road, we vet our applicants and we make sure that they qualify in 3 different areas. And I would invite you, if you want to find a mentor, to look for these same attributes in a good mentor. First, the more experience a mentor has, probably the more valuable they can be to you. Obviously, if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting a business, if they have experience in your industry or doing what you've already done, that's wonderful experience. But there's lots of different experiences that wisdom is gleaned from. So a mentor with lots of experience will be really valuable to you. Just because they have lots of experience doesn't mean they're a good coach or teacher. So make sure you find somebody who has some good coaching and teaching skills as well. And then lastly, there's a lot of great people out there that are wildly successful. You know they would be great mentors, but they're not willing or not able to take the time to be a mentor. This is an important ingredient for a good mentor. They have to be willing to carve out some time to be a mentor to you. Without that, they're not going to be very valuable to you. Okay? And then there's one more ingredient that I like to remind people to look for when they're looking for a mentor, and it's kind of captured in this quote from Winston Churchill. Would somebody be willing to read this quote? And raise your hand so we can get you a microphone before you read. And I'm going to reward you with high fructose corn syrup. Mr. Covey. Yes, sir. We can get picky.
Thank you. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give.
Mr. Covey, what is the essence of that quote? What is the takeaway there?
I think it's about giving back and contributing.
Absolutely. Thank you. A good mentor has reached a stage in his or her life where they're looking for chances to help others and give back, right? That's an important ingredient to look for when you're looking for a mentor. Very good. Okay. Very good. Let's say you do the dance, you meet lots of different potential mentors, you do the dance with them, and you find somebody that you feel like you could be a good dance partner with, that you would be able to work with successfully, and they would be able to mentor you. What does that look like? What does working with a mentor look like? Well, at Rev Road, we ask our mentors to kind of formalize how they work with their mentees. Oh, before we do, I have another warning cartoon in there to warn you to make sure you pick a good mentor. I need 2 volunteers for this slide. I need somebody to read the gentleman in the white shirt and somebody to read the comments from the gentleman in the green shirt. So will you read the white shirt?
Yes.
And then do we have another volunteer? The green shirt. Okay, hit it, gentlemen.
No matter how much I mentor you, you still act the same.
That's because you're a terrible mentor. You owe me an apology for wasting my time.
I don't think the problem is on my end.
Are you teaching me how to avoid taking responsibility?
Anybody fans of Dilbert? What a brilliant cartoonist. He does a wonderful job of capturing the dysfunction that sometimes is in the workplace, right? And this is a great capture of a dysfunctional mentor-mentee relationship. So anyway, at Rev Road, let's talk about how do you work successfully with a mentor and with a mentee. At Rev Road, we ask the mentor to schedule a weekly formal sit-down meeting. It can be over the phone, but it needs to be a regularly scheduled meeting, at least an hour long, same day, same time. By doing that, it gives in our case at Rev Road, the entrepreneur, an entire week to work in his or her business, struggle, fight through challenges, come up with questions, come up with needs, maybe even success stories that they want to share. And then when that meeting rolls around, they have an agenda, they have a list of issues to work on. And we ask the mentor to take, put their arm around that person to give them some support, some input, help with problem solving, help them work through their issues and their challenges so that they can move forward and work another week. Additionally, great mentors have good networks, have good connections, and we ask our mentors to share those with their mentees when appropriate, either to introduce business associates or potential customers, et cetera. That also is very valuable, and we invite our mentors to do that as well. So when you do decide to work with a mentor, the more formalized you can make your relationship, the better chance you have of it being productive and being worthwhile. I did forget to mention, if we go back a little bit, for those of you that are thinking about being a mentor, let me just back up here a little bit. I invite you to think about this slide. Make sure that you're ready to be a mentor before you raise your hand and offer to be a mentor. And this is where I would argue that you want to focus on. Make sure that you're willing to commit some time. Make sure you have some good coaching skills that you've developed over your career. And make sure you have lots of wisdom and experience to share. And then also make sure you're at that stage where you want to give back. Okay, that concludes my presentation on mentors. In summary, or in conclusion, mentors are awesome. I know I'm biased, but Rev Road mentors are super awesome. You can live without a mentor, but should you? Spend time with your kids so that Peyton Manning doesn't. And Rev Road is awesome. Okay, that's my presentation on mentors today. Any questions or comments before we move on with our agenda? Yes.
Hi. So my question is, how do you make yourself, appealing to a mentor? Because, obviously in your program that you're signing up for this, but if you're approaching people and you say, I'm looking for mentorship, especially when you have a business that is unique and is in kind of a different industry, so finding people who are willing to take you on, anybody have advice for that? Because I really struggle.
That is a wonderful question. Thank you very much. Let's help her out. We have a room full of people that have been mentors before. Who can answer that question? Yes. Wait for the microphone.
So my wife and I head up a new organization called the National Association of Virtual Independents. We help small businesses, think like the Poop Brothers here, and help them get into businesses that require really no assets but only time. And we will work with you for a while for free, and then that could turn into a mentor relationship, or it may be something where you would be interested in joining our organization later on, and then we will mentor you right into becoming a partner with us.
Very good. Thank you very much. Who else? Those of you that are aspiring mentors, who else would be willing to answer that question? What would attract you to an opportunity to mentor somebody? Yes, sir.
As a mentor, I really look for the level of dedication and the alignment that you have with me. What areas of industry are you working in? What is your passion? And really, what can you bring to the table, and how can I help you?
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Oh, we've got another comment, or actually a couple comments. Here. I saw, raise your hand if you want to make a comment. Right right there.
So I have a question. So in the stage of being an entrepreneur, when you're not working at a business or you're not at university, but you're working on your business full time, one of the individuals who was on the side was Steve Jobs, and his mentor was Bill Campbell. How do you find a person like Bill when you're dedicated to something and you're not going to these, like, we're coming to Rev University, but how do you find someone who's as skilled as his coach or someone else's coach? You get what I mean? Like, when you're going to doing the things that you're doing.
So back to the question, where do you find a mentor, right? Where do you find a great mentor? Okay, and when we discussed some of the areas that mentors gather, but I would say what you're doing today is a fantastic move as well. You need to get out into the watering holes where entrepreneurs and business leaders gather, like RevRoad, and mingle and network and meet people. And that's how you do it, in addition to going to the gathering places that we've talked about. Any other comments for this young man? Yes, Noah.
I think one of the best places to find the right mentor is find someone you admire, that you admire what they've done. And then to the other question too, that helps a lot. I think mentors want to be a mentor and feel capable to be a mentor when somebody admires what they've done. And therefore you feel you could give advice on something that somebody, so find people you admire what they're doing, and then go try to talk to them.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah. Very good. Yes, sir. If we could get a microphone. Yeah. Oh, you have one. Awesome. Noah, catch.
Just wanted to mention that I know that every mentor I've worked with is usually a very successful person. They're not interested in wasting their time. So I think showing them that you respect that time and coming prepared and not wasting their time and making sure that's a clear message is a great way to get your foot in the door. Just because sometimes they won't even. We've got a call with a guy that we really want to talk to for 5 minutes on Tuesday, and it's because we just said, hey, can we just have 5 minutes? And they're usually willing to give you that as long as you come prepared with effective questions and you're not wasting their time.
No, great comment. Thank you very much. Okay, I think that is all the time we should probably take. So thanks, everybody. On to our the rest of our agenda. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Darren.
You bet.